Hey, welcome back to Custom Model Connection. So today we're going to be doing something custom to our taillights. As you guys seen in my last video, I had some plans for these taillights. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera to kind of show you what we got going on. I got something a little different, and it's going to make this car look a little more classic. But, you know, these taillights, I don't want to tint them or anything like that. I don't want to be that simple where I just tint them like black or anything like that, because, you know, that's just pretty much average, what I would call average. I want to stick to the red on these taillights and make it look original, because Cadillac, for me at least, are these taillights. I see these taillights, I know it's a Cadillac. You know, at least for all of the 90s. You know, I was born 97, so this is 95 right here. You know, this right here stands out to me as Cadillac. I know a lot of other guys, they like the old school classic Cadillacs, and they have their own set of taillights that kind of make those stick out. But for me, the 90s is kind of the body styles I stick with. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around, show you guys what we got going on for this customization. You know, we're trying to make it stand out. It's the little touches that make this stuff, you know, stand out and make your car, you know, stand out on the road next to another Cadillac. You know, if I park up next to another Cadillac, I want this one to stand out. You know, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera, show you guys what we got going on. Alright, as you guys can tell, it's pretty frosted up. It's a real cold night. And I got my emblems. I actually let them sit out. You can tell they kind of let the indent on that. But I got these little emblems right here. Now, if you guys are Cadillac fans, you guys owned a lot more than just one Cadillac, and you guys kind of know each body style, you know what these came off of. And, you know, I'll explain to you guys in a little while what exactly I got this off of, where it was at, and what particular cars you can get these out of. But, you know, this is just a little emblem. You know, it's about the size of my thumb. You could get these to next to nothing if you just go to the salvage yard and you look for that year, make, and model. I actually was able to go to the salvage yard. I got these. I asked him how much. And the guy's like, he made a little joke. He said, usually people stick stuff like that in their pockets. He goes, go ahead, you could just take it. You know, he didn't even know how to ring me up. He didn't want to ring me up for a full-size emblem. So, you know, I just walked out with them like that. But here are what the plans are. So we got our tail light right here. You know, it's just a solid red tail light. I'm not sure if I'm going to take the bezel off and then take out the entire light, or if I'm going to do what I'm doing in place. You know, I'm going to have to drill them in, figure out how we're going to get them to sit in there so they won't come off. And as you guys can tell, they're like pressed on to the molding that they came off of. So, you know, I'm thinking a drill bit slightly smaller and popping these in. Hopefully that's all it takes. If I see that they're loose and it's not a real tight fit, then I'll actually take this whole assembly off and I'll glue them in the back. I don't want water getting in here either, so, you know, maybe later on, if I don't get to it today, I'll probably silicone the back of those little drill marks that I do. You know, that way I don't get water back here. We don't want water back here, and, you know, we'll keep blowing bulbs. You know, I got my other one right here. I kind of got it mocked up. This is not the right placement of what we're going to do with it. It's pretty close. You know, I'm going to take a measuring tape, measure out what's the middle. You know, I might not even go off of what's the middle, just whatever looks best. But this is kind of sort of the idea of what we're going for. And, you know, I might not even go with the middle. I might actually go down here and just have them on the bottom. I think the middle, though, I mean, I might change my mind. We'll get to that here in a second. What I'll go ahead and do is explain to you guys where you guys can get these emblems. You know, what year, makes, models these emblems come off of. I mean, these are real cool emblems. I remember back in the day when I was about like 16, I would customize bikes. You know, I don't know if you guys ever see my lowrider bike in the background of any of my videos. But if you guys seen my lowrider bike or anything like that in my videos, you know, you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, as a kid, I used to make bikes, BMX bikes, lowrider bikes, whatever. I was all into bikes, you know, kind of graduated up to cars. But what I would do is I would take these emblems and I would glue these emblems on the bikes, and they were pretty cool. You know, it made a lot of heads turn. A lot of people ask questions, where'd you get that bike? You know, just real cool emblems to have around. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop inside my car. You know, I'm gonna give you guys a better explanation on where to get these, what years, makes, and models. So we'll go ahead and hop in there and we'll get to that. Alright, so I'm actually sitting in the back seat of our 95 DeVille, and where you're going to find these emblems is going to be 1990 Cadillac Fleetwood. It's not going to be the Brougham, this is going to be the front wheel drive model. So you would be able to get those up here. So as you guys can tell, a good example is we have our light right here. This is a newer car, this is 95 Cadillac DeVille. So we have our back light right here. In the 90 Fleetwood front wheel drive version, this light actually is over here. It's a longer strip and it has the Cadillac emblem that I just showed you guys on that strip. And it's not only on the Fleetwood, you can get them also on the 1990 DeVille to 1993 DeVille. You know, it's the older body style. Maybe I'll go ahead and post a little picture of a DeVille or a Fleetwood in this video. We'll kind of see if I could find a good one, or if, you know, I edited it in there. You know, I'm getting new at editing, but, you know, I'll probably find a video or a picture or something. That way you guys know what I'm talking about. They're cool emblems, like I said. You know, it's the little touches, stuff like that, that you can't take for granted in other cars. And I would love to implement, you know, an emblem from a car that was at a salvage yard that's going to get strapped, you know, scrapped to nothing, you know, made into cans, and, you know, put it into something still on the road. And even if I wanted to put it on this little light right here, and that little light right here, that emblem would actually look cool. You know, you could put them anywhere. You know, these emblems you can put anywhere. I'm going to put mine on my taillights. Who knows, maybe later on I'll find somewhere else around inside the car that, you know, track down some more of those emblems. But, you know, that's kind of explanation of what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the emblems. I'm going to tape up these lights, and I'm going to figure out how I'm going to go about marking the placement before I drill anything. So we'll go ahead and get started on that right now. Alright, so as you guys can tell, I actually marked up the area with some painter's tape. And after I did that, I went ahead and started off with the reef. Or at least what I'll call it, a reef. And as you guys can see, there's some black markings on the old rivets, or the area that it was pressed in place. Sorry, bear with me, I don't want to drop this emblem. And I pretty much just do those markings with the black marker. And as soon as I did that, I went and put it in place, and it's really hard to see, but I got a little dot here and a little dot here of where exactly I'm going to drill. I'm going to start off with the little reef. I'm going to drill in those two holes, and I'm going to start off with, I'm just going to do it with the Dremel and then a drill bit. I'm going to start off with a smaller size than the rivets on this guy. Work my way up. I'll probably just stick to the little size actually, and just kind of file it down a little bit until I can pop each of these rivets in. And as soon as I can do that, I'll go ahead and mark my area for these smaller Cadillac emblems. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and make my little dots that I made with that little marker a little bit bigger. That way I can see what I'm doing, what I got to work with. Okay, so now that I got those pretty decent size, went ahead and grabbed our Dremel, and we just got a little small drill bit. Not too worried about any light bulbs or anything on the other side of this. Not even wiring harness or anything really, because, you know, this is my car. If anything gets caught up or anything like that, I can go ahead and replace this, no problem, very easy. You know, it's not like I got to return this vehicle to anybody anytime soon. You know, it's staying here with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. This is if you use a Dremel, this is a higher RPM Dremel for this drill bit. So I don't know if the camera will pick it up at all, but the bit will actually kind of wave like that. So you got to be quick with it and get it where you're going. Otherwise, it'll skip. So this tape will actually work, you know, to protect the actual light if it does decide to skip. So we'll go ahead and get started. As you guys can tell, I did not really want to do that, I delayed on this little upgrade because I did not want to drill into these lights, but you know, it's done now. We committed, we got to get it done. So now that we did that, I got a little reef. Ideally it should be able to pop right in, and I believe it will. So now that we did that, I don't want to get the, well, I want to be able, I won't want to put it in and not be able to get it out if it's a tight fit. If it's a tight fit, I want to keep it there. So I think what I'll do is I'll take off this tape. Pretty ugly of a hole. I mean, they're nice, perfect sized holes, but you know, you don't want these holes there if there's no emblem, so we really got to commit. I'm just gonna go ahead and tape up a little bit, something like that. Something like that. So now we got a little blue square that is pretty much gonna be for this little emblem. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it around. See those little dots? That emblem. That's actually a perfect little square that I made there. And now I'm gonna attempt to just pop this in place. This is what you're gonna work on with working in the cold. I'm gonna have to get another little reef. I just cracked this one in 2 pieces, but we got another one here. Maybe we'll just do one side and then do the other side another day. And pretty much what I try to do there was stretch it a little bit, because they're like right there but just not quite. It's going to be this side that needs to be drilled out a little bit. I'm going to go with the drill. Something slight like that. Okay, we're going to have to drill them out a little bit more. Gonna be on this side a little bit more. Ooh. Alright, so I won't know how much you guys missed out on that until I get to editing, but I guess the camera died and I caught on a little too late, so I went ahead and charged it up. I finished up what we were doing. You guys pretty much got the idea of how I was getting this done, what I went about doing it. It is so cold out here. Let me flip the camera so you guys could see all the progress, but it's so cold out here that both of those little reefs that I was dealing with actually cracked. I cracked one, tried to reuse the other one, and the other one cracked too. It's so cold out here that I was using this wipe to clean up, and everything's just frosting up. So, you know, that's not glue or nothing like that. That's ice. So this is the final product, though. You know, other than it being cold, you know, I think it turned out pretty good. I could have went a little more center on this. You know, it's a little more to one side than the other, but you know, that's just me being a little picky. I went up a little higher. I thought that looked better than being like right there. I just feel like where it's at is kind of more in your face and it's more noticeable, especially from like coming from an angle like this. If you're just to walk by, that angle right here, just like that, is actually pretty perfect. So I ended up gluing, putting in glue in each of the holes that I drilled. Really good glue. I forget what it's called. It's like E6000 or something like that. It's pretty good glue. I think it'll hold up. This reef I glued back together because I had two of them. Both of them cracked, but I'm going to replace that. I'm going to pop it off and get one that didn't crack. I won't be able to fix this one up until I get a good reef. At least, I mean, maybe I'm saying it wrong, so correct me in the comments if I'm wrong by calling that a reef. You know, that's the only thing I could think of with calling it. Let me know what you guys think of this little upgrade. You know, any other emblems or anything that you guys did to make your guys' caddy stand out. You know, throw it in the comments. I'd be happy to hear. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I know it's something simple, something light, but you know, it's the little things with these types of builds that make things, you know, stand out. And that's what we're trying to do here, make it stand out a little more. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.